Is your mic on? Let me turn it to me a little bit. No. Just turn it to me.
Is it on now? Hello?
Now it's on.
Okay. Will they be able to hear us? Okay.
Now they will.
We start over?
Yeah, we're starting over. We just did a few second intro, and now we're going to do it again, which really lends to the most chaotic episode of Adultish Wines. It's episode 99, the ending of season 3. Last night, we did an in-person live celebration for episode 100, and I think I'm still reeling a little bit from that. I'm overstimulated. I just have adrenaline everywhere. You're tired.
I'm very tired. I'm very tired.
You and Megan have been my assistants for the past 2 days.
Yes.
And I really appreciate
you. And
you.
I'm very glad.
I just didn't know I didn't know that I was going to need it, but like, thank God you guys were here.
I think we knew.
You must have.
Yeah.
Because I didn't. I was like, come if you guys can. Let me tell you, if you guys weren't here.
Who else were you going to have fill 35 gift bags with 5 different pieces of paper? And
it would have been me, and I would have been up. It would have been an all-nighter.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Did I say this already? I don't know if I said it, if it's repeat, but I'm normally in sweats and I'm in jeans. I feel very uncomfortable. Like, I just don't feel like myself, but we had lunch. We also have a couple other friends in town. Anyway, we're doing episode 99. I thought it'd be fun to do sister episode 3. So Coco's starting first, then it's going to be Megan, and then it's going to be Katie. Rapid fire questions. And hopefully we're all still sisters after this.
Yes.
No, it'll be fine. It's like low key.
Okay.
It's fun.
It's fine.
We've
handled more. We've handled worse.
We've handled worse. Go get Megan. And if Pedro doesn't have his things closed and peanut butter on his toy, please assist. Just tell Megan to walk right in. Don't close the door. It's me and you guys. This is most chaotic episode 99. Bring your drink, Megan. Bring your drink. Amy, don't forget to call for the reservations in 2 minutes. Literally the most chaotic.
Okay, I'm here.
Here we go. Sit down. I'll adjust your mic. We're on camera.
I'll just step over.
Get
her phone.
Hurry. Get on the mic.
Okay, I'm on the mic.
She's going to come in for a phone. I know it.
Okay. All right. Oh, and you dropped your phone. I don't know. It seems like we're not really in sync here. Hold on. Let's get my humidity here. Oh, wow. I look great.
Hello, my lady.
Hello.
Welcome to Adultish Wines. This is your second time.
Yeah, I was going to say I've been here before.
You've been here before. We were in the studio. That was season 1.
It was season 1.
Okay, so just a reminder, if I didn't say it at the beginning because that was confusing because the mics were off and now they're on.
We're having difficulties.
Not difficulties, just panic difficulties. We're doing rapid fire questions with my sisters. It's the most chaotic episode that you'll listen to of the season because people like,
so mostly
what is
like
this?
how we all communicate.
Yes, correct.
Got it.
But now you're here, and that's why. And we got a reservation at 5:30. So go get your sister Katie.
Okay.
Go get paid. Go take Pedro out on a walk. My assistant. Go take Pedro out on a walk. Pick up his poop. Send your sister in. Hello. Close the door. Sit down. Get comfortable. I'll adjust the mic when you sit down. Yes, you can use that table. Hello. Okay, this is your first time. It's okay. We're continuing on wherever you're going to be comfortable. I'll give the mic to you.
Yep, good. That's big.
It's a big daddy.
It's a big daddy.
Hello, Kiki.
Hi, PP.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
I know.
I'm excited that you're here in Houston.
Me too.
I'm sad that you missed the show last night.
Well, we all know how planes and
I think that's been probably one of my wines of the week before. Probably in like season 1. Like you.
Me?
Yeah, like you've gone to the wrong airport. You've gone to the wrong this. You've gone to the wrong that.
Do you remember when that happened?
Not your fault. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. This is my sister Katie. She is. So I'm 34. She's 37.
Mm-hmm.
You are. I don't know what.
I
don't know what order. You're
just
looking at me.
you? Okay.
You're just looking at me.
Okay, I'm like,
don't be nervous. It's fine. We're comfortable. We're cool. I've told the listeners already it's gonna be a very chaotic episode.
Yeah.
Episode 99. I know you were supposed to be here for the 100th episode last night. And I literally, if I was in your position, like trying to get to your 100th episode or something very important to you, I would feel so defeated and awful and the worst. And so I sympathize with you and I empathize with you. However, I know you're bothered by it, but listen, you're still here. And yes. I think that it's still going to end up being a great trip. We're going to the Dodger Astros game tonight.
Another 24 hours in Houston.
Just a couple nights here. Just a couple nights.
Lost a good 20 hours at the airport.
Jesus Christ. Well, thank you, by the way, for even... I know I sent you guys out the text message like, hey, I'm doing a 100 episode podcast. If you guys can come, would love to have you like save the date. Like, truthfully, didn't expect any of the three of you to try and come. Like, and I honestly didn't think it was going to be that big of an event. It was more gonna be like backyard party type shit. Turned into a bigger event, of course.
Huge.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you for even.
Yeah. Well, I told you I wouldn't miss it.
And you
I did.
Some things are out of our control.
Yeah.
Doing rapid fire kind of questions. Okay. It's fine. Okay. I can see that you're nervous. I know that Courtney and Katie have been on, or Courtney and Megan. Why do I keep saying Katie when I say Megan's name?
It's been a while since all four of us have been in the same city,
which means a lot. Like 2 to 3, 4 years. Same house, same 720-foot square I guess do it out there.
Tight quarters, we're fine. Playing phase 10.
Okay, so don't give too much away, but highlight of the 100th episode celebration last night.
I think a couple of the highlights. One highlight was being able to see all of the people that actually, I mean, obviously not all of them, but many of the people that listen to your podcast and love you. It was really cool to see everybody there. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. It was really amazing to see what you've built and made, and it was so fun. Like, it was just a really fun night. The second highlight was that somehow my 21-year-old mindset, like, came into my body, and I danced, and I haven't danced in probably 20 years.
What do you think it was?
I don't know. I think it was seeing everybody else dance. Honestly,
like, just let loose a little bit.
Yeah, and I haven't really. I'm sober, and I don't go out. I don't go to bars or clubs or anything like that, just because it's not something I put myself in. You know, but it was just really cool seeing everybody dance, and I was like, I remember I used to do this.
Well,
I
it was
used
also
to dance.
a little bit more of a controlled environment. Like, it wasn't a bar. It was like the after party and people that, like, I absolutely knew most of them, and through degrees of separation, maybe you
my
felt
knees
a
are
little.
killing me today. My knees will never forgive me. Ever.
Are they?
They hurt so bad.
From just doing a little twerk-a-twerk?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay. I'm 40. It's fine.
You're 40. Okay, so I should have said that. So I'm 34.
I'm 40.
You're 40.
Katie's 38. Or 37.
37.
Okay. Megan's 46.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's Megan, Courtney, Katie, me.
Correct. You are right.
Just for the listeners.
Okay.
I think she is sober, like she said, and I do feel like you're judging me a little bit.
I'm not judging you at all.
Okay, just checking.
I'm not.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I ate 2 margaritas at dinner and then drove. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I used to drink way more than that drive.
Right, but I don't have a problem.
Well, you drank and then drove, so maybe you do.
2 drinks?
I'm kidding. It's fine. I do not judge.
People here in Houston do be drinking and driving. Yeah. Like many, many, many margaritas. And I don't do that. A couple times I've done that and I've like absolutely felt disgusting. Yeah. Like, oh my God, I didn't know I did that. I don't judge people who
drink and drive because I did it a lot.
Yeah.
So, and I'm looking at the camera. Sorry. Am I not supposed to look at the camera?
No, you can. Look at the camera. Get that camera angle.
Okay. All right.
So, highlight, without giving too much away, because this is episode 99. So, although we celebrated 100 episodes last night, I want you to give a little flavor, but don't give too much away because that will be the following week. What was the highlight of last night? What's the highlight of the
strong suit? I like to explain very heavily.
Right, because you always are like, the carrot is orange. And I'm like, got it, but you're like, it's like a burnt orange. It's a hairy orange. It's with a green carrot top.
You don't want me to orange the carrot. Okay, got it. The event was amazing. I have said this before. Oh, they let Pedro out. She's coming in for her phone.
Coco.
And your shoes.
Get your
you
shoes
left them both here.
And your phone.
I actually...
Get your shoes and your phone.
Why are you having that accent? Holy
because it's
shit.
what we do.
Okay, so without being carrot is orange, the event was great. I loved the energy, not only from you, but from all of your listeners. I was happily accosted by several people being like, oh, you're a sister. Oh my gosh, I love her. She's great.
Yeah.
And I felt very like, yeah, I'm a sister.
Yeah, you felt good.
It was good. I thought you did great. I thought you killed it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for next week.
I mean, I don't know if you kill it so much without me as your assistant, but
No, and for sure, like, how did you like being my personal assistant?
I mean, I really felt like it's been my whole life. I've been your personal assistant. So
No. This was very different.
I don't know.
What?
Like, I think that I've been your personal assistant several times. Before.
Literally what?
Well, when you were a toddler and you didn't want to walk, I would carry you around.
Okay, come on. That's because I had a drug addict as a mom.
Okay, well, I mean,
That's not my fault. I didn't choose that.
We can't all have me as an assistant all the time.
I didn't choose that.
Well, I didn't either. So I'm just saying.
Megan and Coco were a huge help setting up for the episode. At one point, Megan and I had to run to Target, to IKEA, to the mall. And we were running by Zara. And I was like, perfect, I need a little something just in case. Ran in, bought something. And I literally passed it to Megan without, in my head, I said, can you please hold this? I didn't say it out loud though, and so she really just took it though. She took it. She was
I really
like,
didn't even think about it.
And I was just texting and voice memoing and answering calls. Like I'm a real like businesswoman.
I had to give her a time limit in Zara.
You did, and thank you so much for keeping me on track.
You're welcome. Even though I did suggest that I wanted to look for a pair of sunglasses, and you were like, "We don't have time for that."
Literally, a personal
You
assistant.
actually, I think you said it's not about you.
I literally said it's not about you. I said we don't have time for that. It's not about you. And then I was running by Zara, and I ran, and you were like, "Hey, you told me I couldn't go into Sunglass Hut," and I said. It's not about you.
Yeah,
it's
you
about
did.
me.
But then I still kept you on track anyway.
Let's go rapid fire.
Who's your favorite sister? Who's
You're all my favorites for
No.
different reasons.
okay? Like, be honest in rapid fire. Like, gun to your head. What are you deciding?
P.
You heard it here first.
But that's changed over the years.
Totally.
Yeah, it changes. Katie has been my favorite, and Megan has been my favorite,
And
I
right
have
now-
been my favorite.
I'm your favorite.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, what about you?
Oh.
Who's your favorite?
Shits is maybe you.
Maybe.
Maybe you.
Anyway, go on.
I've said that before.
I know, I
you're
wanted
just
to hear it in
always
person.
like roll dog, no drama. Tell me how it is, but like not too much. You won't be too mean to me when I need a pep talk or I'm doing something wrong or
Okay.
down on myself. Like,
Yeah.
I do appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Who's your favorite sister?
You. I mean, if we're gonna be, let's not tell anybody else that. But
So, well, this is going to be.
you're all favorites in different ways. How about that?
That's fine. That's good.
I feel like if you're gonna go for
I
an
said-
overall, though, yes, you.
I said that I have gone through like seasons, like with Coco, because I'm asking you all the same questions.
Yeah. I feel like that's fair. I feel like I actually just told Coco that the other night, or actually, we were in your bed, snuggled like two little bugs in a rug.
Oh, kitties.
And I said to her that I just really feel like it's such a weird point in our relationship because I feel like she's bringing me such comfort.
Coco. Yeah.
Definitely not you this trip.
Rude.
You had your own stuff going on.
I definitely did. I would say I feel like at one point Katie and I were like when I lived with her when I was 15 and she was 18. Like I look back so fondly on those times.
Totally.
Like I remember she like had me miss school one time. Oh my god, I'm literally voice texting to Amy Wolf, who's out in the literally.
It's fine, guys. She's
Stop.
just busy. It has no reflection on how important you are to her.
She's trying to make me look bad to my Whiners. No, we had lunch. We're in the middle of, we're going to go to get oysters and a Dodger game. And I want to get the sister episode in. And so we got to do what we got to do. But I was telling Courtney that Katie and I think we're really close from like 15 to 18. Like absolutely
For sure.
could not penetrate
Katie
our closeness.
and I were super close when I was pregnant. Yeah. With Grace.
Yes. And then I do feel like since Courtney has been sober, I feel like you two have been, a little bit tied.
She's just so amazing though, how far she's come.
I do feel like she has, like, you guys have the same guidance for me. But she is
Delivered in a completely different way.
delivered in a completely different way. And I respond well lately to her guidance. So I did say Coco.
She's much softer. That's fine. I've just worked my whole life.
And
for these
also,
girls. It's okay.
one time Megan got mad at me because I didn't invite her to Sugarfish with my friends.
Oh, wow. Except for they were actually kind of my friends too. So that's weird.
Anyway.
It must be hard.
So let's just start off with a banger.
Okay.
Who's your favorite sister?
That is a banger.
So far, both answers have been me. It's okay if I'm not. I would say I would assume Courtney was your favorite sister at this point.
Yeah. Just kidding. I if I had to choose, like literally, like
Right now. But I also said we've gone through situations. I said that you and I think I said this to Megan. You and I think we're so close when I was like 15 to 19-ish. Obviously, I lived with you when I was going through high school.
Yeah.
I have some amazing memories, like fun, crazy. We worked at the same restaurant. I think we were like...
My apartment. I decorated your apartment.
Our apartment.
Your room, I mean.
Yeah.
With
I think
Gerber
we were like
daisies.
this, you know?
Yeah,
like,
we were,
I do think we were inseparable. Like, I remember you like... not waking me up for school one day, like so we could go to Disneyland for my birthday.
No. You went to school, and I went and picked you up and said you had a dentist appointment, and you were like, "What dentist appointment?" And I was like, "Psych, we're going to Disneyland."
Yeah, and so like I do like I cherish those memories, and
me
I
too.
not miss them necessarily because that was such a younger time for me, but like the amazing memories that I have of our relationship.
Me too.
I think Megan and I have been close. Maybe in our middle years, and I said that Courtney and I probably like right now. It's okay. We've all been crying on the pod. Okay. Courtney and I are, I feel the closest to Courtney right now because sometimes she's the most level-headed when I need advice rather than Megan, who's a little choppy, who's a little scary, a little do this, a little do that. Yeah. So who's your favorite sister? That's okay. Spit it out. Gun to your head. Because I've been mugged, so make a decision.
I was going to say gun to your head, but I didn't say it. So I was like, too soon.
Too soon. Never too soon.
Yeah. Courtney, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Closest right now, for sure. Yeah. Natural progression.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
In a few words, how would you describe our growing up together as a family?
Chaotic, painful, and we're talking about our family life, right?
Yeah,
growing up, yeah, chaotic, painful.
The four of us, including mom and whatever drug dealer friends she had bopping in and out.
Yeah, polarizing.
Polarizing.
I don't think at the time, obviously, we didn't know she was a drug addict, but looking back, she really kind of isolated us from everyone, from our family, from aunts, uncles, cousins over the years, because she kind of had falling outs with everyone, drug seeking, money seeking, stealing from people, which I did myself, but I mean, I came out of it, but I think we didn't have a lot of outside support around us besides grandma and grandpa, because they really stuck with her no matter what, and they loved us. But before we moved to Yakima, we didn't really have anybody. We just had the people that she was bringing around, and they weren't safe for us. So
William, Vanka,
David.
I don't really remember David. William was like a middle-aged gay man who obviously was a drug addict, and he was a caretaker for... He
was a caretaker for someone, but he lived in one of our rooms. He rented a room. They had a falling out over money or drugs. I'm not sure. David was a guy that she met at a meeting who she let stay on her couch a few nights. I don't remember how long, but he was very unstable. I remember feeling very unsafe when she brought him home and hey, he's going to stay on the couch. And I was just like, oh,
can you imagine...
Why? There's 4 women.
I know
in
that you don't have kids.
Yeah, no.
And I don't have kids. Right. But growing up with Megan and her 2 kids, living with them, I did, and I know you did for some time. I couldn't.
No.
I couldn't.
No. Absolutely not.
A strange person and then a strange man?
Yeah.
Also?
Yeah, who smelled like cigarettes and...
Rhonda. There was also Rhonda. She always had a big gulp.
Canadian tuxedo wearer every day.
Which... Pretty fly.
Teased frosted hair.
Pretty fly outfit.
Yep. Swollen fingers from shooting up.
I don't remember that. Wow.
Yep. I think I had the swollen fingers too. Red swollen fingers. Yeah.
Did mom?
eventually. Not
Mom
then.
did too.
Yeah, but not then. She had just started using heroin again. She was on pain pills before that.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
How would I describe it? Chaotic was the word that I had.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I haven't worked through it too much.
Yeah.
Besides that.
Yeah.
Chaotic and absent.
Yeah.
I would say absent. That was my growing up way. In a few words, 1, 2, or 3 words, can you describe our family dynamic or our family life growing up?
Isn't this a family show?
Choose. Choose, my lady. Are we Ubering to the game?
I think we might. Me too. I'm not driving. I already drove in Houston. She was worried about me. I can handle anything.
So are you avoiding the question? Because your therapist would
traumatic?
say. Uh-huh. Just one word?
Oh, you said one word.
I said a few. But that's fine. That explains it all.
Eventful, wild, crazy.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Funny.
Yeah,
I think we learned a lot of humor, actually, through the trauma.
Well, I think that's why we are funny now.
Yeah, well, also, though, our humor is a little off-putting to people. When we walk around going, oh my God. Like, my daughter will say, Happy Mother's Day. And I'll say, oh, my mom's dead. That's fine, thanks.
Yeah. But she gets it.
She does. She gets it. And now she passes it on to her friends. Her poor friend the other day almost passed out when she was like, oh, my mom's dead. And her friend was like, oh. I said, Grace, you can't just bring that on people.
Yeah. In a few minutes, because I'm doing like 20-ish minutes with each of you guys. So you've only got a few for you to elaborate. So carrot is orange, but it's not burnt orange. It's not light orange. It's not.
Got it. You're wasting all your
Straight
time
from
trying to
the dirt.
coach me. Okay. This is our dynamic.
How was it traumatic for you?
How was our childhood traumatic?
How was it traumatic for you? What was your role?
It was traumatic for me. Well, you don't like me to talk about this role.
I want you to talk
It was traumatic for me because I didn't have a childhood.
Yeah. No, I want you to talk about this role.
You don't like it.
Yes.
Okay,
don't-
Oprah.
No.
Are we trying to cry right now?
It's kind of inevitable.
It's fine.
I want to give you your flowers, and I always try to do that for having to be the mom when our mom couldn't. However, it's hard for me to delineate or differentiate
Same.
because I didn't know that mom wasn't a mom until way past the time.
Sure.
Had I known that my mom was a drug addict when I was 6, and you being the mom of the group or the mom of the sister or whatever, I think that would have been a very different dialogue that we could have had at this point. But because I was like, my life is great. I didn't know anything was wrong until I was 19 or 17 or whatever that age was. I can't even remember.
Sure.
So I don't want to take that away from you. I just always want to make sure I had a great relationship with mom and I loved mom.
I know
that you kept us alive.
I think it's only until now that I am adult enough and I've been through enough therapy to realize that 2 things can be true. I spent a lot of time taking care of you guys and making sure that you were safe and whole and fed and clean and
taking us to school.
I took you to school. I laid in bed with you until you fell asleep and then I would slide out. I read your books. I did all of the things. But it's taken me this long to realize that just because I can agree that you had a different relationship with mom, it doesn't take anything away from me. 2 things can be true.
Yeah.
But I don't think that I knew that then.
But I also think that that's a reason, like, maybe why you're saying, like, you don't like me to talk about this is because years ago, you might have been in a different, and maybe me too,
sure.
But you were in a different headspace.
Well, I think,
where now you can say 2 things can be true.
Well, I think that it's called growing older and being humble. I think that I can realize now that in coming from a place of fear, I have always over-mommed you and Katie and Courtney and really everyone around me, to be fair. It's just part of my personality.
But it's because that's what you had to do.
Right, but I over-mommed out of fear. Yeah. Now I just accept it as part of my personality and I know that it's just me and that's okay. And even if
Yeah, but I love that about you. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
my friends growing up were like calling you without me for advice
For
and
sure.
sleeping on your couch when they needed things. And
For sure.
so
And I wouldn't
I'm
take
very-
I wouldn't take a single
me
solitary bit of that
neither.
back.
Me neither. But it's also my trauma that prevented me from being able to receive that from you.
For sure. Well,
So when
we've
you
both
would hug
grown and
me
learned.
too tight,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
When I picked you up late from work.
Yeah, don't be late.
And then to apologize, I bought you a pair of green
Well, right,
buns
because
and
that
for
was what
sunglasses.
mom would do.
100%. So
Yeah.
I just followed.
My mom would be late for everything, but she would buy us gifts to make up for it. So I remember.
Oh man, you were
I
mad.
don't.
You were
Oh
so mad.
man, I was mad.
And I was like literally 30 seconds late. But it was a trigger.
But it was a trigger.
Yeah.
But we fall into that, and actually, even
Easily.
just. Sorry, this might be a tough topic for you, but like even with when I was living with you temporarily during COVID,
Ooh.
you know,
Go ahead.
some shit went wrong, and I was living with you, but I had to leave. Some shit went wrong, and I had to
Some
leave.
stuff went
I was asked to
haywire,
leave the
yes.
home, not by you, and not by me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It was a time.
You went out and bought me AirPods,
Sure did.
which, by the way, I still use them. Thank you so much.
I want you to know that I can't even recall buying you those.
Right. And so
Mhm.
that's actually something that is like, mom would do that.
100%. It was
Something went wrong. Let me make it better for
Sure.
you. Let me buy you this thing.
sure.
And love the AirPods. Thank you. But like, it's
But I think-
interesting.
I think it is interesting, and I will say this without being the carrot is orange. This year, on the anniversary of our mom's death, every year it hits me, I think us all a little bit differently. But this year was the coolest year that I've had. She was with me all day, but like in the best version of who she was. But I think it's only because I've come to a place where I don't view her with so much hostility anymore. And I kind of accept not responsibility. I was a kid, but I see her now. I can see more of her good than
Yeah.
anything. And so I think it's about change.
You've
and it's
forgiven
about
her.
growth. Yeah, very
Or
much
you're
forgiven.
forgiving some
much.
parts of her. At
I
least.
just am not so angry, and it's not so black and white. I've learned that there's a lot of shades of gray, and that's a really hard place for me to live in, but it's the truth.
and I'm
it's
proud of
life.
you for that.
Thanks.
Yeah. It's big
Thanks.
because you had a really hard time. You grew up in a hard way. You
I
were the
did.
oldest of us and
Mhm.
had to make sure we were all okay while also making sure you were still okay.
Yep.
And I can't imagine being in that place. So thank you.
Thank you for growing up and being a good human. I thought this was rapid fire questions.
It is. In a few words, tell me how you would characterize our family growing up.
Misled. Maybe.
Okay.
I think we were all very like it's a hyphenated self-sufficient,
Yeah.
but like misled and maybe like
That can be it. You don't have to add
yeah,
more.
there was technically 3 words.
A few words. Yeah. Self-sufficient.
Self-sufficient,
Yeah.
misled, and then I'd maybe say like, tight, at least the 4 of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially like compared to now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to be that way.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I said traumatic. I think Courtney said polarizing, and Megan said, "Oh God, what did she say? Maybe independent, or like we were like on our own,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, self-sufficient.
Something I can't remember. Give me an example of what self-sufficient as a child means to you.
Like
In
an
our
exact
life.
example.
Yeah.
I often think about this, and this is probably the silliest answer, but as we're growing up and realizing how much time we spent alone, like thinking about or like saying it out loud to people that ask about this, I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Like Paige was 3 or 4. I was 6, 7. Courtney was like 9, 10. Megan was out of the house by then. And I just remember like you watching Barney and us going, what are we going to make for dinner? And we would I remember pulling out like a block of Velveeta cheese and a can of chili and putting it in the microwave because it said on the box to do so. And that's what we made for dinner for the three of us. And like, I didn't realize until later in life, like that was because my mom was gone for a really long time and we didn't know where she was.
Mm-hmm.
But we thought she was supposed to be gone. That's all we knew.
It was
at that time in our lives.
Fun. Like,
it wasn't always like that. It just was like, it just as an adult to think back on it with when you have your own children, especially like,
geez, especially that.
Yeah. Like having an 8 and 6 year old, I'm like, I absolutely
make
not.
mac and cheese on your own? What the fuck? That's
Axel
crazy.
often asks me, like if I have to run to the store, he's like, oh, Mom. I'm like, just get in the car. I can stay by myself. And I'm like, no, even though it's a block away. Absolutely not.
Especially because of.
Yeah.
And definitely, I mean,
That's
he's
bubbly,
too young.
sorry.
That's okay. But yeah, I mean,
he wants to
Mom
be independent.
would go get yogurt or
Oh
coffee
my God, you're so
cream,
right. No, you're right.
but
the
be gone
yogurt.
for hours because she
And
was
there
a
was-
drug addict and
Yeah.
doing something.
Yeah, and there was times where like not only that Velveeta memory sticks, like I don't think I've ever eaten Velveeta as an adult
Mhm.
because of that.
Mhm.
But there was also times we'd have to like go to like the neighbor's house and just be like, we're out of food, you know, because it had been like a couple days.
Yeah.
You know.
I remember stealing sacks of potatoes from the grocery store.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
We stole candy bars.
Oh no. Individually, I stole candy bars, but I have a distinct.
So I stole candy bars.
For sure.
And one time you tried to steal white chocolate cookies and cream
Yes.
Hershey's. And I was like, get the good stuff. If you're gonna, if you're gonna
Dead.
steal, it's gotta be the real chocolate.
I fucking love the white chocolate
Oh,
Hershey's
nasty.
Oreo situation. Yeah, I have a memory of me being in a grocery cart at the Toluca Lake apartment, or Burbank apartment,
Mhm.
and us going through to the grocery store that was right there.
Yeah, Vaughn's.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And a bag of potatoes and a couple other things. And I think we paid for something small. And
Do we put it on the bottom of the cart?
no, it was in with me in the car. I was sitting in the
Oh,
car.
interesting. That had to have been with Mom.
No.
No?
No.
I don't remember that one,
Okay.
which is strange. You usually remember everything.
Who's the most stylish sister?
Oh, come on. No question. Me. I'm just kidding. I have no style.
like no events.
No, I'm joking. Oh my God. You're absolutely the
offense.
most stylish.
But I am like so tacky and so crazy. So it's like,
Yeah,
am I the most
but I think
stylish? Or do I
stylish
just have
and fashionable, I think you have to have some kind of balls to like wear some of the things you do.
so who
and
has
I
the
think-
biggest balls? Me.
Yeah.
In that
Megan.
area.
You and Megan.
Okay.
But fashion, yes, you have the biggest fashion balls.
I like that.
Fashion balls.
Fashion balls.
Yes.
Okay. I agree.
You heard it here first. Fashion balls.
I agree. Who's the most stylish sister?
Oh, well, I mean, I would say you, but you have those fucking boots with the heel and the construction thing. Goddamn camouflage everywhere. You guys, have you seen her closet?
It's amazing.
Oh, God, it's a situation.
It's very
I mean, thank God,
specific.
because she's the most fearless person I know. when
Oh,
it
that's
comes
a good
to
question.
fashion.
Okay. So stylish is who then?
Stylish is you, I guess.
Really? You'll still say that? Okay.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I do feel like that is the correct answer, but like I also will say that like
I think I'm pretty stylish.
I always
though.
say like I'm so tacky. I'm not saying like I'm like with all the times. Like I am very
Yeah, but somehow you pull it off in a way that others just can't. Who else can wear a Canadian tuxedo with white patent leather boots like you with a jean jacket off the shoulder? Let's just text you again.
I am. I'm planning dinner reservations for us. Who is the most stylish sister? And I have to say, I fucking love your outfit today.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't love that my skin is showing here. That's fine. I was gonna wear knee highs.
I think it's best
Not to.
not to.
Well, obviously you. You know, but I mean, I feel like
You said
Megan's-
obviously me?
Yeah,
I
but
love
feel
that
like-
because
but I feel like
I'm tacky.
Megan's. No,
It's okay. Paige is trying
I
to
feel
get in.
like Megan's really changed her style. I mean, she's always had like classic, can go through any decade.
Mhm.
You know, like every outfit would always work in any decade, and I feel
Yeah.
like she's really come into a new, like, found
Version.
sense of style
Yeah.
that I really like.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
Okay.
trying new things.
So tied.
Yeah.
I really liked Courtney's Courtney's outfit for the 100th episode.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm wearing a pantsuit with the green card. I was like, okay.
You should have seen what I was going to wear last night. It was
Dang it.
a black silk slinky top with lace and then a black like mini blazer with these. I know.
We'll make it
That's
happen
gonna
for
be really
that. I know. I'm so sorry. If there was one of us to come out being an addict from our life, who would it be?
Well, listen, actually, yes, obviously it was me. But
How long have you been sober?
last count, it was like around 3,650 days. Almost 9
literally,
years.
Okay, I was like, literally, how many years is that?
November 24th will be 9 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
That's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
I'd like to touch on the fact that you've only been to rehab once.
Correct.
That is highly unlikely for
Very
somebody to have
unusual.
a long, consistent, sober
Yes.
situation
definitely.
after that.
Definitely.
Why? How have you?
I think I owe a huge amount of that to you guys.
Yeah.
To you and Katie and Megan. Because obviously our mom being an addict, Megan, we all grew up through it, though we didn't know we were growing up through it
Mhm.
until much later. Megan knew all about it. She kind of held that secret from mom, unfortunately, for a long time. But I
Mhm.
think I had some insight as to who mom was as an addict. And when I became an addict and then realized I had a problem, I realized I was becoming her. And at no junction did I ever want to become mom in that way.
That is so interesting because when I found out that mom was truly a drug addict,
Uh-huh.
it was in my teenage years still. I think I had just graduated high school, maybe.
Mhm, mhm.
Then I reached out to you and Katie, who still were living in Washington, and I was
Mhm.
down in California.
Mhm.
And I was like, I'm basically coming up to have an intervention.
Yes.
And this is before you I know you were abusing alcohol,
Yeah,
but you weren't abusing painkillers or anything else
No.
at this point.
literally just drinking. Yeah,
Just drinking. Not just drinking, because drinking overly is bad.
I was.
But-
yeah. Mhm.
Anyway, I was reached out to you guys and said, like, I'm going to come up and basically have an intervention with mom.
Mhm.
And you and Katie were like, no. I mean, good for you. We love that for you. We support you.
Mhm.
We don't want to be involved because we're going to have to deal with
Yes.
it.
Yes.
We live here in Washington. We live down the street from her.
Mhm.
And I hope it goes well for you. And we've tried similar things, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So for you to say that, like, under no circumstances did I want to be mom, well, how did that come?
Okay, so I knew that she was an addict. I knew very little about what and how she used. And it was
Mhm.
heroin. I didn't know anything about it. Like, I didn't know what heroin was. I didn't get it. You
Yeah.
know? I didn't really. And maybe that was just like my own, like, I don't want to know kind of thing. And I was like, I'm fine. I'm just drinking. You know?
Mhm.
It wasn't until I knew that I couldn't stop using pain pills because of the withdrawal that was so bad that I was like, okay, I get it, mom.
Mhm.
I understand why you couldn't stop,
Yeah.
you know? And so I think it was during the time of my addiction to pain pills that I realized I was becoming her.
Mm.
And when I was found out by all of you that I was using and was a drug addict, you all kind of circled around me and were like, we're not letting you do this.
Yeah.
You're not going to keep doing this. Like, I, at that point, also had willingness to stop because I was absolutely living,
A nightmare.
I was dying every day. Like, I wanted to die every day and I was living a nightmare and I was doing things that were so not me, like stealing and lying and all of these things and being like becoming this master manipulator that my mom was, that our mom was. And I didn't want to do it anymore. And so luckily I was found out, you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, that saved your life. Being found out saved your life.
Yeah, absolutely. My carelessness and stealing saved my life.
Honestly, carelessness, like, do better.
I know. I was a
Do
really
better.
bad thief.
You were a reckless
I mean,
thief.
but like, yeah, so like I got found out and then I was like, okay, I don't have to do this anymore if
Everyone
accept
knows it's out and
this.
people are there for me.
yes. And they don't hate me and they're not gonna
Yeah.
cast me out or tell me they don't love me anymore or anything like that. So I think at that point I was, you know, okay. And so I went to treatment once and I woke up in treatment on day one thinking, oh my God, I don't have to go steal money today to buy pills,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it was really freeing. So, and I don't ever want to go through it again, and I don't ever want to disappoint anyone again, and I definitely don't want to die young like Mom did, you know. So
Yeah. Well, you and I had such a different relationship before you were found out.
yeah,
Even you were just kind of always like very meh
yeah,
about life
Oh, yeah.
and about sisterhood and about
Uh-huh.
connecting with people. And I am such a connector. And so I think that's like where we differed.
Mhm.
And when I got the call from Katie that you were found out, you had been caught stealing
Mhm.
from
Her purse.
her purse.
Mhm.
And obviously, like I know you're saying that like we were there for you and
I know you're mad though.
stuff, but I remember like typically when I get stressed out or sad or afraid, like I do eat. You and your drug addiction was the only time where I stopped eating. I didn't eat for like days.
Oh.
But I remember I know I wrote you a note in your journal that you could have in rehab.
Mhm.
But I remember you were trying to call me and I wouldn't answer your phone call. And Megan was like the main person, you know, kind of arranging things and dealing with things through you. And I like, sharing what I had to say of like, I hope she's going to be okay and stuff like that. But like, I don't know if I said it to you or if I said it to Megan to relay to you, but I remember saying like, you only have one shot with me.
Yeah.
I just went through this with Mom.
Yep.
And I'm going to choose myself.
Mhm.
And so like, try me.
Yeah.
Fail
remember
rehab.
that.
Fail rehab.
Yeah.
And we won't have a relationship.
Yeah.
And like, I really, truly meant that.
Mhm.
And I have a lot of people in my life who are like, wow, your sister only went to rehab once, you know?
Mhm.
That's insane. And I'm just like, I thank whoever it is every day because
Yeah.
I mean, our relationship has been amazing
Yeah.
since you've become sober and obviously there's been ups and downs since
For sure.
then, but
Yeah.
I just
Well, I was just telling Megan and Jill and Amy outside that like I did become sober almost 9 years ago. However, I didn't mentally become sober probably until 4 or 5 years ago. Like I was still, you can be sober and still act like a piece of shit, just to be clear. So
Did you act like a piece of
I
shit?
mean,
or
no,
were you
I just
still
was still not
struggling?
connecting. I was still not connecting with you guys. I still really had very little interest in being a part of the sisterhood. Like I was just very like,
But like that's also fine.
right. But it wasn't really me.
Yeah.
I am who I am now, and I love being with you guys. I had a very hard time being around you guys.
But I think it's
before.
because of our childhood and maybe resentments
Sure.
and things that happened.
Yeah, maybe. But like, I am happier now than I've ever been in my entire life, even before I started drinking or using.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
my life before any of that was already so pain filled, you know, before I started drinking, before
Yeah.
I started using pills. And now, while I have physical pain still, I don't have that mental and emotional anguish that I lived with until I was 33, 34 years old.
Yeah.
You know, so
I'm very happy you're sober.
me too.
I love you very much.
I love you too.
Who out of all four of us has the most addictive tendencies?
I mean, I guess, you know, we're gonna have to go with Coco on that one. Yeah.
We did discuss that.
But I was also just talking to my friends Jill and Amy about this outside on your patio in the rain, listening to those very big bugs.
Cicadas.
Talking about how amazing her sobriety journey has been and how whole she is. And so
Amazing.
yes,
She's a
addictive
different
for
human.
sure. But like it's watching you guys
But you're saying
it's
that about
amazing.
your younger sisters, but like I think we feel the same way about you. And you just obviously went through divorce 4-ish, or you're, you know, whatever,
Still
3, 4, still going through it, but like it started 3-4 years ago.
4.
And to see you, we're not going to get too much into this because we just don't have time.
Well, also the tears.
Yeah. I didn't know that you weren't who you were supposed to be.
Yeah, I didn't either. That's a new
I
thing.
didn't know that you had so much life and love and fun And I didn't know you were missing this. Like,
Same.
it's not like I will like watched you like, oh, this poor woman. No,
Same.
never. But as things have rolled out and you've come into your own, which I know is, I hope it's not condescending for me to say as
No.
the youngest sister.
I don't think so.
It makes me so happy and elated and proud and excited. And I'm also very jealous that I'm actually at this point not living in the same state as you to enjoy that. Do you know what I mean? Because like you really used to be the person who would be like, yes, come over, house parties only, like
Right.
let's barbecue and hang out in the backyard, and like
100%.
that's totally fine, like fun, so fun, love that, like what's wrong with that?
Sure.
But you really, like, if there was like a baby shower or like a volleyball game, like you just didn't really want to venture out of your home.
No.
It felt like
I didn't.
and
I also didn't know that I was that person, and I don't think that it was necessarily my marriage that made me that person. I just think that it was lessons taught throughout life that I just accepted, and I don't think that I really knew who I was, and I think I am even just now still scratching the surface of who I am. But I would have to say that it was definitely, you were a huge participant in the like, I talk about it now, like, but like the year of yes, because it was so hard to say yes to things, but then all of a sudden it got really hard to say no to things too, because I couldn't find the reason why I should say no. And you're just so brave. And I was like, well, if she can be brave, I can be brave. And it just started this year of yes, and the yes just kept going, you know, and it was skydiving. I was scared shitless, but I was like, well, I said yes. And sometimes the yes was just getting out of the house. You know, sometimes the anxiety was so much that it was just too hard to just even be seen. And I think that you were a huge part in that. I remember calling Coco one time and I couldn't leave. I was supposed to go to her house and I just couldn't make myself leave the house. She was like, it's okay. And it wasn't okay. And I just realized that I never wanted to be like that again. So you learn things as you get older.
yeah,
That's the good news.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's like probably so much. I know for sure there's so much more to be said. Sorry.
Oh, there's never not things to be
I
said.
know,
You really
I know,
didn't have any
I know.
tissues, though.
Well, I
You're
do have
welcome.
tissue, but they're hard to get out of
It's
the.
fine. It's fine. Back to the rapid fire questions.
Okay, well, there's 2 more questions left,
Okay.
and it's still emotional.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Are we out of time already? Probably.
Close to.
Okay.
This is gonna be a hard question, I think, for
God
all of us to
damn.
answer. We've all been through a lot.
Yep.
Obviously, is our childhood, and I've talked. It's hard to get all of the details out of my life, our life, but we grew up in a very tumultuous situation. We've all been through it. You mentioned Megan had to kind of be the mom for us for a while, and then she died, and that causes problems in relationships and things like that. We lived with our grandparents. Like, we've all just like, who are we? How are we who we are? I don't know.
Yeah.
But because there's been so many different levels in our relationships as a foursome of sisters, and I'll start off before you answer. After I ask the question, I'll give you my answer. Okay. What is the thing that you miss about the 4 of us being so close? For me, I will say that like I pulled away when I started choosing myself, went to therapy, and realized that we were all very trauma bonded. And I pulled away quick, fast, and immediately from that. Once I learned that that was a thing, and like that resonated a lot with me. Yeah. And I don't want to be involved in that anymore. And I do think that like taking accountability for that, I do feel like that's a huge, I'm very protective of my own self and my own spirit and my energy, and like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
Physically, emotionally.
Yeah.
I miss the relationship of like, we're all we had. But on some days I don't, like, I also am happy that we are not all we have. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
But sometimes I do find that hard to digest.
Yeah, for sure. Fuck you. I think you said it very well. I do miss the it's hard to put into words. You're right. You know, before any of this happened, like before, for instance, mom came out that she was a drug addict, I think that's when a lot of it changed. Before she told us that, I think we were pretty indestructible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like we just really were like ride or die.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't cross us.
Mhm.
Cross one of us,
Right.
you will die.
We were the four.
Yeah.
And we weren't going to let anything happen to anyone. And not that we would now, but like, I think now we have accountability for our own lives and we don't worry about each other's as much because we know we're living our lives and like taking care of our shit and like, you know, that kind of stuff. And I think then it was like really like, we're going to live our lives for each other, which in a way was great and lovely. But also, yes, we absolutely were trauma bonded and we didn't want to allow anyone else in.
Yeah.
Because.
And so now I've removed myself so far from being trauma bonded.
Yeah. And that's great. I think it's wonderful because I think
it is, but I do think that there's like a healthier balance of like what we used to be because like you said, we were indestructible. We were like the four.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just was, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of good things have replaced that. Too.
My final question was going to say, although we all four have gone through and twos and like me and you have gone through things and you and Megan and you and Katie, what is the biggest benefit from kind of learning and healing on your own from that? Like, has it just been yourself?
I think being able to rely on myself has been probably the biggest gift because previously I couldn't freaking make a phone call to AT&T to dispute a bill. Like Megan had to help me, you know, like before like college age, like 21, 22.
Yeah.
You know, I just was so scared of everything.
We just weren't equipped with that.
I really wasn't. Mom did things for me. Mom didn't let me finish things if they got hard.
Yeah.
And so if I wanted to quit whatever sport or if I didn't want to do my math homework or like whatever, if I had a panic attack before school, she would take me home. She would do my homework. She would finish my science projects for me. Like she unfortunately made it so that I was very ill-equipped to be an adult.
Yeah.
And so being able to be there for myself, to do things for myself, to have a job that is important to me and like help other people and all of that, I think has come with sobriety, but also come with learning about myself and being away from you guys. If that makes sense. You know, I mean, before any of us would even think about moving out of LA, it would be like, you're moving, we're splitting up. What? You know, we're not going to be like an hour at most away from each other. Insane, you know? And so now it's just like, we know we're there if we need you, you know, if we need you or if I need you or whatever. We know that we're all here if needed. Yeah. And can take a flight if needed, you know?
Right.
So I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah. But just to trust yourself.
Yeah. To trust myself, to know that I can handle whatever comes my way because I've obviously handled everything that has happened so far without, you know, offing myself.
Jesus Christ.
I have tried. So, you know, I mean, I think that's another big part of my story too is the mental health aspect of it. I do suffer with
of course.
severe depression and all that comes with it. Yeah. You know, and having a fear of living and not wanting to be alive and like all of those things. I don't have that anymore. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. I'm really proud of you. Proud of you.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you. I love you.
I love you.
Take your coffee with you. Go take a nap, which is very weird. That's weird that you're drinking coffee and then going to take a nap.
It doesn't make me okay. Sleepy though.
So are you drinking it to wake you up?
No, I just love the taste of it.
Okay.
I'm going to get an espresso. I
said to Coco, us growing up, it was the four of us sisters against the world. Obviously we had mom and grandma and grandpa, and as dysfunctional as that was,
so
but it was still the four of us sisters against the world. 100%. Like even mom was like, oh, you four.
Yeah, no, people
you're always leaving me out.
People hated it.
Yeah. I do think that once I realized that we were trauma bonded when I started therapy 5-6-ish years ago at this point, I pulled away from the foursome of us. And I don't regret it.
I don't think.
However, I miss sometimes the four of us. What is it about? Because I know there's something in there too that you would miss.
Of course. What
is it about like the four of us that you miss and that you wish we could get back to?
Oh gosh. I
kind of have a word that I think that you're gonna say, and tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Acceptance.
Yeah. I think it's just knowing this. It's a feeling. It's kind of like it's like an anchor. It's like a feeling of inclusion that keeps you completely insulated. Like when you four are together, you are a separate entity. Like nothing can touch you. It's a weird, like comic-y, cartoony sort of feeling to me in my head. But it's like walking together. Like I think the four of us are, especially when we're together, quirky for sure, wild for sure, rowdy, absolutely, but powerful. So I mean, if out of the four of us being together,
or the relationship of the four of us,
I think the relationship of the four of us being together has always been something, yes, of acceptance, love, inclusion, continuity. But I think even, that's okay for that to change.
Yeah.
As we all grow older, it just does. You guys don't need me to put you to bed anymore. And we don't operate off of a trauma bond anymore. We operate off different bonds, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
We're always going to be there for each other, all four of us, no matter what happens in life.
But that's also acceptance in a different way.
Absolutely.
Accepting that maybe it's just not the time, like, because we've been through so fucking much.
So much.
That we just have work to do, and it's okay. It's okay to accept that we can't be what we used to be without it being toxic to somebody.
Well, and I think for a really
because
long
the closeness was so toxic.
It was so toxic. And we've talked about this extensively. Yeah. We've gone at it extensively about how toxic it was. I think that we just didn't know any different. We didn't know that it was toxic. We didn't know that we were trauma bonded. And I think as soon as we kind of started to figure that out, it did change a lot of our relationships. I remember Courtney pulling away years ago. I was pissed.
Yeah. I was super offended.
Oh, I was fucking livid. And I think I actually had like a yelling, screaming match with her where I was like, we are your sisters. Where do you think you're going? You don't get to just get out. But the truth is that in that trauma bond, as much as there was acceptance, there was also acceptance for how we lived our life. And with siblings, you will find a lot. We all fall into our each patterns. So I'm always the oldest. You're always the youngest. Those two are always in the middle. And you fall into these behavioral patterns that don't really fit you anymore. They don't fit me. I mean, listen.
Well, and people, we evolve, we change.
Absolutely. And I think that within that trauma bond, because of the way that we were bonded and the way that we collectively reacted to everything, there was no room for growth and there was no room for change and there was no room to kind of become who you needed to be.
Yeah.
We all needed to find ourselves, not find ourselves within our foursome, but find ourselves outside of that and then come back together.
Yeah.
We're family. We're always going to be bonded.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever change.
We all will always be there for each other no matter what. But I just think it's okay to accept that it's different. Not the time for us all four. And honestly, I don't ever want to feel
that way again.
No. And I do think that is growth on all of our ends.
I absolutely agree.
But I think that there's improvements and things that can be done.
Well, and I think there's even improvements, like, even if you want to talk about it, like you and I think we're good communicators with each other. But I think that we've gotten to be better communicators with each other.
Yeah.
We've learned how to actually, like, I've learned to hear you and you've learned to hear me. And we've learned to not necessarily just hear the words, but sometimes hear the feelings too, when maybe before we were just hearing the feelings and not the words, or vice versa. I think there's that room for change. And I think that we've all done a really good job. And I think it's going to continue to change. But like I said to somebody, I think it was Dr. Viviana last night, and she said that girl is she's so much light and so much love. And I was like, I know, she's pretty amazing. And she was like, it's so great that you came. And I was like, there's nothing that I wouldn't do for you.
And I know that, and I appreciate that. But I think that it's evolved into a different way of like, years ago, if you were to say that to me, because I wasn't in a healed space, I would feel very defensive of that.
For sure.
But now I can receive that. And now I can talk about the fact that you were absolutely a mom figure to us, because I'm healed.
For sure.
And I forgive mom.
Well, but even in my own mom relationship with my kids, that's had to change.
Yeah.
My relationship with my daughter.
Yeah.
She taught me a lot about communication. My child taught me a lot about communication. Very humbling. But she did.
I'm really proud of you of the relationship that you've sustained and built with your children through all of the change that you've been going through.
And they are my world. And there's no fire I wouldn't walk through for them. And they know it. But I now know that just saying that and being that intense is not enough.
Yeah.
I have to be
but
able
you
to
also
sit down
don't
and
have
be
to say it and be intense.
No, I have to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I have to let them in.
Yeah.
And it's okay. And it sucks, but it's okay. I'd prefer not to.
I love you. I'm proud of you.
I love you. I'm really proud of you.
Thanks for coming on. It might be emotional just to prep you.
Okay.
I've asked the other two this question as well, and I'll give you my answer to just kind of prep you.
Okay.
The question is, what is the thing? So the four of us growing up were like thick as thieves, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously, like Megan didn't live with us for a certain amount of time. Like she was older, and moved out.
Mm-hmm.
But even after like, mom going through her drug addiction and then obviously passing away, there was, we were all very trauma bonded, I feel. That's what I've learned in my therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And when I learned that was even a term or that existed, I was like, I'm out of that. Like, I'm not going to be trauma bonded because I felt it was very toxic. So for me, what I miss about the four of us being as close as we used to be is the closeness and that we all used to have. And I still think we would all do whatever we could for each other, but it's definitely a difference in relationship mindset. So I think Megan said what she missed was acceptance. Like we all just accepted and we're going to be there for each other. Oh, and Courtney's was she missed like basically do or die. Like it was us four against the world kind of thing. So what do you miss most about we've been fucking through it is what I try to it's hard without telling the story every single episode to the Whiners.
Yeah.
What I've been through, what we've been through.
Right.
But they're getting a little bit of an idea. We lived in a dysfunctional, traumatic, home and stuff. So what do you miss about the four of us being kind of thick as thieves? Like what, and then to flip that, what good has come from that? Because there has been good from that for me.
Yeah. Well, first, I think that not to negate like your therapist or what you're saying is trauma bonding, but I don't think we didn't begin that way.
No.
But we're always very like well sealed. Like we're a bond, the four of us, no matter what. And I think that me moving away and kind of branching out to be by myself was pretty hard.
To start your own life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the trauma happened. Like extra trauma happened.
Yeah.
Where we all didn't know where to put it.
Yeah.
What was the question?
What do you miss most about basically the fierce
playing
foursome?
card games? Like I just miss being around you guys all the time.
Yeah. I miss that too. I miss like specifically your and I's relationship that we used to have like I said when I was like 15 to 19. Like
I think that we're all very lucky, but also I think we have lucky to have each other as far away as we all are right now. We're not, but I also think that in reality, like people don't always stay together. Like, people can move on and form other relationships and stuff like that. But it's easy to lose sight of the relationships from the past. So what I miss is having the four of us just like always together and laughing, cracking up, having holidays together and stuff like that. But it's also a very natural way to progress in life to like, I have my
I do
family,
believe that. Like, and it's not, I don't believe that the only reason that we kind of all might have branched off was because of our trauma issues.
Yeah.
I do feel like that is what happens
Yeah.
in normal people's lives
Yeah.
with normal upbringings.
Yeah. It
But
just
to
had extra
us-
pressure under
But
it.
to us, it might have felt like, oh, you're tearing yourself away from me because of this reason. But no, you're going on and being with the
Well, for that reason,
your
I'm just like
relationship.
proud of you because I think that you've been the catalyst in saying like, you know, setting boundaries and saying like, I want to have relationships as adults with my sisters and we can all have our own relationships
Yeah.
and our own issues. There's a lot of them,
Yeah.
you know, there's four of us. So there's a lot of combinations there.
And for girls, like
Yeah.
the best, you could live the best life, but you gotta have four
I
girls
do
in
miss having Megan's closet
it. Mm.
sometimes.
Remember when I would play Boogeyman?
No. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. On Pembroke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So funny. Okay, that's it.
That was it?
That's it. 20 minutes.
That was 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm ready for more.
Anything else you gotta say? We have dinner reservations in 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. Oh my God, we do. Okay.
Anything else? This is your first time on the pod. Courtney's been on twice. Megan's been on one. Well, yeah.
I don't
Twice, once, whatever.
know. I'm just really proud of you.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you remember Disneyland.
Huh?
I'm glad you remember Disneyland. That was a great day. We ate, I think we tried to calculate it, or I did. I think we ate like
So much.
6,000 calories each that day.
We each had like
Because I told you, I was like, we're gonna stop and eat at every single kiosk. We had like 3
No,
chocolate chip
we
cookie
did.
sandwiches, ice cream sandwiches,
The Dole Whip, the frozen banana, which
We
I
had
never liked that frozen banana because
turkey legs.
yeah,
Oh my God, it was disgusting.
we sat and ate at that restaurant. I forget the name of it.
The Bayou. Something.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I'm just really proud of you. And I'm sorry I missed the
Thanks.
show.
it's okay.
But
There'll be another one.
I know. And I think this weekend or these 36
Yeah.
hours I'm here is a huge icebreaker. And so I appreciate, like, I think that, again, the catalyst, you're the youngest, but you're by far the wisest.
I mean, you heard it here first.
And I said it, so I gotta believe it.
No,
So I think this is like a huge weekend just to like have a little ice broken and really like come back together and get things back to normal. We're all entering late 30s to the late 40s or mid 40s. I don't know.
mid 40s. Megan's like 46, I think.
She looks the youngest.
I know. Hey, wait, what the fuck? No, I completely agree with you. And I think that as long as we can understand that we're not who we used to be, we're not.
Acceptance is what Megan said. And I feel like that's something that her and I are like going to have to really work on. Like, you know, me accepting the way she is and her accepting.
Well, we kind of touched on it for a second about, because I asked her the same questions and she said, oh, childhood. And she said, well, you don't like me to talk about this. I said, well, what is it? And she said that I had to be the mom for you guys.
Yeah.
And I said, I agree with you. Now I'm healed and I can accept that you did. You lived a terrible, not terrible.
No. She was the oldest and had to
And you
see
didn't
it.
choose that, but you had to do that. You didn't. You could have not. And I want to say I do appreciate you and I love you for that. 5 years ago, when I wasn't healed, it felt like an attack on me and it felt like an attack on my sisters and it felt like an attack on mom.
Yeah.
And the reality is it's not.
Yeah.
And so
it's just the reality, and
it's just sad is what it is.
it's sad,
but it is.
it's
And
the reality. And what family doesn't go haywire after a parent's death, no matter, you know, how amazing that parent was.
Yeah.
And how many,
Totally.
you know, out of all the time they've been on earth as our parents. Like,
but I also think it's okay to accept that, like, I think let's move. I mean, it's sounding a lot like we don't like each other, and I don't think that's the case.
Who?
I'm saying to the Whiners, like,
no, that's not the case
we
at
all love each other so much that sometimes we have a hard time getting over things or moving past things or accepting things. And I appreciate you saying that I'm a reason to maybe, you know, think about exploring those relationships further. And I would love that to be the case.
Yeah.
I know we had a conversation back like 6 months ago where I was like, hey, we need to have a hash out. Let's talk in Q1. I'm too busy right now.
Of the
And
fiscal
then-
year?
Yeah.
That's
and then I was like,
August 1st.
no. And then I was like,
Oh.
and actually, I'm too busy. Can we push it to Q2? Like, we, you know what I mean? Like, we have things that let's hash out so we can
Yeah.
put them
Yeah.
to bed and be done with
We're
it.
not children anymore. And by children, I mean in our young 20s and living the life and making stupid decisions. And,
Yeah.
you know, we all have our own lives and we're all flourishing as far as I can tell. And I think that we all deserve to share in that a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I want to relish in your success and
Yeah.
Courtney and Megan. And yeah, we don't hate each other. We just
No, and
have
that's
fallen
what
on
I'm
hard
saying.
times before.
We've been through a lot.
Yeah.
And we've lived through it.
Mhm.
And we're all still here.
And I would like to quote someone.
Oh.
I'm not going to say her name, but it's someone's mom who, when she first met us as young kids, always said, she says to me still, I just don't understand how you guys all turned out this way.
Mm.
You know, like we could have.
We all made it.
Yeah, we made it. And,
Yeah.
And not without hardship, but we made it. And there's stuff to work through.
Yeah. Well,
But I'm willing to work through it.
me too. I
Yeah.
feel positive about the future.
Me too.
And I
I'm
love you.
excited.
And
I
thank
love
you
too.
for. I told Megan when she missed her flight, the only thing that could stress me out is you coming into the state of Texas with rage in your
Yeah.
voice.
With the
'Cause she
octave.
can feel
with the octave.
raging. The octave was up. I'm just calling to tell you I'm not on the flight.
Well,
and
when you
told
called,
me,
I didn't answer on purpose because I
Okay.
was sobbing.
when Courtney told me Katie missed her flight, I was like, okay.
You know, I was
It's
really
fine.
upset. It's
Huh.
because they're gonna say "classic Katie."
Honestly, I don't know if I said that. Like, I might have thought it, but I was like, well, 2 of you missed your flight. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. I was like, it wasn't just me this time.
yeah. You won over on that one.
All right.
Okay, well, I love you so much.
I love you.
Thank
so
you
proud
for
of
being
you.
a part of the little sister trifecta. It's gonna be the chaotic episode. I keep saying the most chaotic episode you'll ever hear
It's
from.
fun though.
Goes in and out. The door's open. Pedro's slamming on the door. We've
Yeah.
got Courtney leaving her phone in here, and we're gonna be late to dinner reservation. So we're gonna go.
We got to go have oysters.
We've wined enough for the episode, so
Yeah.
we don't have a wine of the week.
Yeah.
But cheers. I haven't cheers with anyone. I'll give you a little cheers. Is that prosecco?
Yeah, that's why I'm burpy.
Oh, I get it. Cheers. Whiners, next week's episode will be the 100th episode that was filmed July 25th. And then starting from then, we'll be at Creators Guild, which I'm so excited about. So love you guys and see you next
You're so
Thursday. Bye.